Hello and welcome to Wisdom Bites. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining us. Very much appreciated. Another amazing days of trading with Bitcoin yesterday, but not only just with Bitcoin, but also with the Bitcoin miners, which is where most of my interest lies. And I'm going to have a look at one of them today, which is Marathon Digital Holdings, why that presents an amazing opportunity in this wonderful crypto space that we find ourselves in. But obviously, I'm going to have a look at the micro analysis of Bitcoin here, exactly what the price action was yesterday and what we can read into with the candles, the volumes, etc, etc. But before I begin, the usual polite reminder, please remember all my videos are for educational purposes only. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm only going to give you my perspective. And if you find value in my perspective, then please do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. But always remember, before you make any important decisions in investments, please do your wider research. So with that out of the way, I'm going to start off today with my Twitter page. And there was a couple of quotations that I actually made here. The first quotation I gave was this one here, and you may find a lot of relevance to this. And I've just put down this quotation, which is basically, life is like a camera. Focus on what is important, capture the good times, develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, then take another shot. So please don't be distracted by the things that won't benefit or affect you. Finally, the next quote was basically something that's been relevant to me for the last 20 odd years. And that is something that's transformed my life and empowered me, as I put here. The quotation is very simple. It's only a one-liner, but it can absolutely transform your life. And it says, if it's to be, it's up to me. I'm just saying here, pick yourself as the one and only person who can truly make things happen for you. Pick yourself, believe in yourself, and pursue your goals and dreams. And I'm going to develop this theme here today because I want to talk about the 4 Ds. So please listen very, very carefully to this. This is probably 100 times more important than the Bitcoin price and anything that's going on in the crypto space. And that is, let me tell you something. I live in the UK, which is an absolutely amazing country full of absolutely wonderfully talented people. And above all, it's a country with an abundance of opportunities for those who really want to be successful. And I can tell you, in my own life, I've had 5 absolutely amazing careers in the last 35 years. I started off in banking, then I spent many, many years in the medical field. I spent over 10 years running a multi-million-pound legal services company, which I started off from absolutely zero. And then I spent many years in the property developing sector. And currently, in the last 5 years, I've been in this amazing space called the cryptocurrency space. But despite all the amazing opportunities in this wonderful country, the reality is that out of 100 people in the UK, only 1 will become financially very rich. 4 will retire, being financially independent. 15 will have some savings put aside, but the rest of the 80 will have to rely on pensions, still working or even broke. And this after a lifetime of working very hard in one of the most richest countries in the world. And the 2 main reasons why that is the case is, firstly, people never decided to retire rich. You see, what people do is they wish and they hope and they pray, but they never ever made a firm, unequivocal decision that they were going to do it. And even if they decided to do it, what they do is they procrastinate and always find some reason, some very good reason of putting off the process of saving and investing and building a financial estate. Now, if you really truly want to be in the top 5%, then there are 4 critical steps that you have to take, all starting with the letter D. The first one is desire. See, you must want it very badly. So you must want it badly enough to make an unshakable commitment and making sacrifices of all kinds. And the more intense your desire, the more likely you'll overcome the obstacles to achieving the success that you want. The second one is decision. You see, you must decide to do whatever it is necessary and be willing to pay any price, obviously within the law, to achieve your goal. And unfortunately, 95% of people fall down at this hurdle. Because what they do is, instead of deciding to go ahead and achieve the things they want to achieve, they just wish and hope and pray that something will happen. And as we know, nothing happens unless you decide to do it. The third D is determination. See, the thing with achieving things is that it doesn't come easy. So you have to keep at it until you succeed, in spite of all the problems that you will definitely encounter along that journey of success. And the final D is discipline. You see, along that journey of success, you have to discipline yourself to develop the habits necessary to achieving that financial independence or any other goal or dream or vision that you want to achieve in life. So coming back to this tweet here, if it's to be, it's up to me. So make a decision today that whatever you want to achieve in life, it's up to you using that 4Ds formula here to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve in life. Okay, so I hope you found value in that wisdom bite. I thought it was very important that we started today's video on an upbeat note. And if you did find value in it, then please do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. So on to today's technical analysis. So yesterday was an amazingly busy day for trading for Bitcoin. So this is the daily chart. And I just want to show you the volume that came in yesterday. So we got a very big volume candle here, which turned into a green candle. For most of the day was a red candle because it had come down all the way down to about $34,000. Now with a volume that's coming like this and a candle which is more of a spinning top, but it's what they call a high wave spinning top, which means that there's a very long candle at the bottom and a smaller candle at the top, actually is telling you that this is the short-term bottom here. Just like over here, if you remember, if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I went into detail about all these candles and said that when this candle came in, that's when I realized that with the candle that followed it, the spinning top after that, that was a sign that this was the short-term bottom there. And now we've got another short-term bottom here. It seems unlikely to me, with a high degree of probability, that we're going to go below this level in the next maybe few weeks. So the price action that I'm looking at is really going to be in between those levels that I've been mapping out for many, many weeks now, which we'll have a look at in a minute. But certainly when this candle came in with this amount of volume, that told me that with this wick marking with a high degree of probability that we're in a short-term bottom here, that gives us a lot of information to be able to make better decisions around this area here. So basically this is our dominant trend that's been coming down. We've had this relief rally here. We've fallen back down to this level yesterday at $34,000. These are our three levels that I've mapped out now. The support levels down here between $34,000, $35,000 and $32,000 mark. And as you can see with this channel that we've been drawing for the last few days, that Bitcoin came down with the news of the Ukraine situation down here, fell very drastically to these levels at the 34,000, found a bottom, and then a very strong buying spree occurred at this point here, which basically shot the price virtually in a straight line all the way up to this point here, which I said yesterday that if the price does come up to the $40,000 mark, that expect a strong rejection there. And currently we've had that rejection and we're just meandering in this. And that daily candle I've shown you, which tells me that that's more like a short-term bottom, has actually confused the picture, because it tells me now that there's more chances for this to retest the 40,000 than to come back down and retest the 34,000 mark. Only time will tell in the next few days where it's going to go, but certainly I wouldn't put it past this price to come back and just retest this again one more time. And because we've now tested it the second time here, this third time retest could well push it up to the higher side. Although normally with a higher degree of probability, it takes around about the fourth go. But third and fourth is usually where most of the breaking of the key levels occurs. But there's two moving averages that I want to show you. One of them I showed you yesterday, that was the 600 simple moving average. And today I want to show you one that actually was pointed out by one of my subscribers, and that is Tree Sway. In yesterday's comments, Tree Sway mentioned the 800 exponential moving average on the daily chart. And the comment was that I pointed out a few weeks ago, Bitcoin wick bounced off the 800 EMA on the daily chart. It has clearly done that a second time. May or may not hold true, but it is interesting. Could be a longer term support that we can use to our confluence of indications. So thank you very much indeed to Treesway for that comment. And I'm going to go on to the BLX chart to show you something extremely interesting here. And that is that the green line is the 600 simple moving average, and the blue line is the 800 exponential moving average that Treesway has actually brought our attention to. And just look at this. Only 3 times in the history of Bitcoin have we actually fallen below these 2 lines here. The first time was in the bear market after this first cycle end back in 2013. So we fell during the bear market at that point. The second one was the bear market of the second cycle after the 2017 top off that we had, and that was down here. And the third time was the COVID-19 situation over here. And as you can see, apart from those times, we've never fallen below these lines here. And if we have a look at the current price action over here, maybe these 2 moving averages are telling us something, that unless we're going to be in a bear market, it may well be that we have bottomed out at these levels here. And what's really interesting, you may notice already, those with a discerning eye, that the bodies of the candles have got supported both times at the 600 simple moving average, while the wicks of the candles have wicked down to the 800 and found support here. So if we did fall with the bodies of the candles below this blue line, the 800 exponential moving average, maybe that will confirm that we're actually in this bear market. Until then, the classical chartist will always tell you that a bear market in a big bull run like this, where we've left a double top here, then the classical charting principle is that a bear market doesn't start until you break this level here. And that is at 28,800. So should we get to these levels here, that's where we would normally confirm a bear market. But maybe these 2 moving averages are giving us some sort of a hint that if we did fall below these levels here, then this would mark the confirmation of a bear market, as that's what happened in the previous 2 bear markets. So we can only go by historical information and historical context. So I just thought that was very interesting. Make of it what you wish. But what I want to cover now is Marathon Digital Holdings, because to me, this is presenting an amazing opportunity for those of you looking for something different to Bitcoin. And I can tell you that most of my swing trading is done with Marathon Digital Holdings. And the majority of my long-term holdings are in the Bitcoin miners. And the reason why I'm mostly in the Bitcoin miners is, as I've mentioned many times in the past, that the Bitcoin miners present a leverage play on Bitcoin. And I'll show you within this context how that works. Back in July 2020, Marathon Digital Holdings was completely a different company. It had no Bitcoins. It was mining 0 Bitcoins. And as soon as it announced it was going to mine Bitcoins, the price shot up to these levels here, around about $2 from where they were around about just less than $1 here. They started to mine the Bitcoins here in August 2020, and their bull run started just like with Bitcoin around about the October time here. From October, so the price of Marathon went just like with Bitcoin all the way up here and topped out at the first topping, just like Bitcoin, around April 2021. And since then, it's been meandering just like Bitcoin. And we had a second topping here, again, just like Bitcoin in November. And since then, again, just like Bitcoin, we've had a fall here. So you can see the strong correlation between Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. But where the leverage play comes into it is that back here in October, where the bull run started, if you take the price from here at the end of October to the first top in April, that was over 2,600%. Compared to Bitcoin, which went from around $10,500 to $60,000, i.e. a 6 times increase, this went up 26 times. And while Bitcoin bottomed out in June, July, like here, and it went to $28,500, call it 30,000. So with Bitcoin, we went from this point here, from 30,000 to the 69,000, i.e. just over double. You can see that Marathon went from their low here to the next high at $80. They went up by 3.5 times, 355%. But just like they go up on a leverage play, they also come down on a leverage play. So while Bitcoin came down from the 69 high around these levels comparatively to their current price of around about 30 plus thousand, i.e. a fall of around about 50-55%, well, Marathon fell all the way down to around about 77%. So they go up hard, but they also come down hard. Well, currently, if you look at this chart here, it's an amazing looking chart because if we have a closer look, just like Bitcoin, we're at the bottom end of the downturn that we've had over the last 3 months from the November highs here. And while Bitcoin would double by going from the current price of around about 38,000 to 69,000, Marathon, just to get back to its high in November, would be actually going up by 265%. So for me, Marathon Digital Holdings and the Bitcoin miners in generally present an amazing opportunity as a leverage play in the current market. As I'd mentioned in my previous videos, this is where I was looking to do a swing trade, but unfortunately the price started on the Nasdaq at 230 and it just didn't come back to give us an opportunity to buy in, and it just went straight back up from $19.50 to $23. But this is a great opportunity. Anywhere around here is a good opportunity to buy with a view to taking profits at the $31 mark. And on that note, I'll leave it. If you found value in the video, then please do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you've got any comments, questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.